Hello, you're watching the business headlines on HW News with me, Ali Azhar. Desperate times call for desperate measures. And when you're the government of India and have set an ambitious fiscal target for yourself, and then you go ahead and do something that completely contradicts this logic in trying to achieve that target, then to achieve that very same target and to make up for your blunder, you do something out of the box, which may qualify as desperate. Confusing, right? Let me explain. The centre set itself a fiscal deficit target of 3.4% of GDP, which means that the government's expenditure should not exceed its revenue by more than 3.4% of GDP. Announcing a fiscal deficit target for yourself and then not sticking to it shows indiscipline on the part of the centre and goes to show that they have not managed their finances properly. In a nutshell, it is a matter of pride for any government to fulfill their fiscal promises. Okay, that aside. With this target set, North Block got underway and formulated a plan to achieve it. However, the recent Big Bang tax amendments announced by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, where she doled out goodies to corporate India in the form of tax breaks, cost the exchequer a staggering 1.45 trillion rupees, which put further strain on the already stressed position of the fiscal math, which seemed to contradict New Delhi's objectives. Plus, what's adding fuel to the fire is the fact that GDP growth is at a 6-year low and GST collections are lower than expected. In fact, the situation is so bad that all these factors combined are limiting the government's ability to spend on infrastructure and welfare programs, which is the need of the hour, considering the sluggish demand situation the country is in. Alright, so this was the expenditure side of it. Now let's talk revenue. The government decided that one of the primary sources of receipts should be the disinvestment of public sector enterprises and earmarked a figure of 1.05 trillion rupees this year for the exercise, which is, by the way, the highest ever. Desperate to live up to its promises, the centre fast-tracked its plan and put 5 PSUs on the chopping block for disinvestment. So, the Shipping Corporation of India, THDC, which is a power sector company, Northeastern Electric Power Corporation, or also known as NEEPCO, Container Corporation of India, and most importantly, Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited, or BPCL, are going under the hammer soon. Interestingly, BPCL was formed under an Act of Parliament, so the government needed approval of both houses of Parliament to sell it off. The centre came over this hurdle in 2016 by amending 187 obsolete and redundant laws, which included nationalizing BPCL. The government owns 53.29% stake in BPCL, and at today's market price, that would translate into a little over 56,302 crores. However, such deals are usually executed at a premium, and one could expect the centre to take home upwards of a neat 60,000 crore rupees, which would go a long way in helping New Delhi with its fiscal math. Make no mistake, BPCL, unlike Air India, is not a loss-making unit, and on the contrary is a strong and profitable company. It has the capacity to convert 38.3 million tons of crude oil into fuel. Besides, pan-India, it has 15,078 petrol pumps and 6,004 LPG distributors. The sole reason why the government would want to sell it is to manage its finances at a precarious time. The only thing for the ruling party is whether it should sell BPCL to another government company, like when in Jan of last year it sold Hindustan Petroleum Corporation, or HPCL, to ONGC. The advantage of this kind of sale from one PSU to another is that it doesn't take up much time and can be completed without much headache within this year itself. However, we believe that while this would qualify as a disinvestment, it would not qualify as privatization and would be equivalent to taking money from your right pocket and putting it in your left. What, in our opinion, would make more sense is to sell its stake to a private player, which would mean a higher valuation, considering some premium, which would benefit the government and the shareholders of BPCL. The Mukesh Ambani-led Reliance Industries is said to have shown interest in the oil major. RIL, despite looking to reduce stake in refining and petrochemical businesses and looking to further concentrate on its telecom and retail verticals would not want to pass up on the opportunity to obtain 25% market share and the vast real estate that BPCL owns. Besides, it would even be a ripe case even for the likes of Saudi Aramco or the French oil and gas major Total SA, and would give them a foothold in the fastest growing fuel retailing market, India of course. Then further, the government plans to privatize BPCL and is also likely to clear the decks for sale of its younger brother Hindustan Petroleum or HPCL. As I mentioned earlier, ONGC last year took over HPCL for 36,915 crores, which was a case of one PSU absorbing another. Like BPCL, HPCL too was formed under an Act of Parliament and required the assent of both houses before it could be hived off. But due to the BJP scrapping the old rules, this requirement was done away with. Now, however, the government may look to privatize it. I mentioned HPCL was BPCL's younger brother as it has 27.1 million tons of refining capacity compared to BPCL's 38.3 million and commands a market capitalization of close to 47,500 crores compared with BPCL's 1,05,000 crores. Together, BPCL and HPCL, or as I like to call them, the oil major twins, contribute 47% of the 65,554 fuel retail outlets in India. Hence, what can be concluded is that the BJP government is biting the bullet and taking some tough calls to get the economy and the government finances back on track, whether it be by sale of the oil major twins or shutting down the telecom twins, that is BSNL and MTNL, to save costs. However, what can be argued is whether they are doing it proactively or they're just reacting to the insurmountable pressure put on them by slowing economic growth. Thank you for watching HW News. This is me signing off. Have a great day.